Good morning and welcome to Mindful Movement with AARP Alabama. I'm your host for today, Tawana Wright, and today we have with us Becca Impella. Today is a yoga day. Becca, how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm ready to do some yoga with you guys and your members.
All right. So what are we going to be working on today?
Well, today I thought that we would focus on movements and poses that are good for the lower back, right? So lots and lots of people have maybe some lower back soreness or maybe more serious low back issues. These will be things that pretty much everybody can do safely. And of course, I'll be telling you some options so that you can pick what really works the best for you. We'll start out on the floor or on something that you're comfortable lying down. So if you don't like to lie on the floor, get on your bed, okay? That's perfectly fine. Maybe the couch will work, but it needs to be a pretty wide couch. And then we'll perhaps need some sort of strap or belt, or even if you don't have anything like that, a towel would work really well. This is to help you grab hold of your legs if it's difficult for you to reach your legs from a lying down position. So if you think that might be the case, get any kind of soft belt, your bathrobe, your dog leash, or a bath towel or beach towel, and have that handy. And then we'll do a little bit of standing just to move and stretch, and then we'll relax at the end. And you can either lie back down or you can sit in any kind of just comfortable chair for the relaxation part at the end.
All right. It sounds good, folks. Well, remember, AARP is empowering people to choose how they live as they age. AARP is a nonpartisan 501c4 organization with more than 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate on their behalf, all of them without regard to politics. So, folks, before we get started, remember, before you begin any exercise routine, you should consult your physician to make sure that you're healthy enough to do the activities. You want to make sure you don't injure yourself while you're having fun doing yoga or any other exercise. So, without any further ado, Becca, let's get started with our workout.
All right. So like I said, today our focus is going to be on movements that are generally helpful for the lower back, whether to promote a little more mobility in the lower back or to improve the strength of the lower back and the muscles around the back, such as your hips, your abs, that sort of thing. Right. So just keep in mind that our bodies are different. You might not be able to make the same sort of shape or look that my body does. So while I'm demonstrating movements for you, that doesn't mean that you need to be able to do exactly what I can do. Okay, you may be able to go further than some of the things that I can do. You may need to make your movements smaller than some of the things that I'm going to do. And you can always stop and rest. Maybe 3 or 4 times is enough for you, whereas I might be saying, let's do it 5 or 6 times. You can stop at any point, rest, and then pick back up. So just keep that in mind as you make this practice work well for you. We're going to start down on our back. So if you need a chair to help you get down to the floor, please use that. Or if you're going to lie down on your bed, that's fine too. Go ahead and just come down onto your back with your knees bent. Okay. We're going to start with just a few moments of some breathing. We want to just give your body some time to sort of settle and adjust to being in this position. And when you're ready, take a few deep breaths. You'll breathe deeply into the nose, let your belly expand, and then breathe out through the mouth. Nice sighing exhale. Do that 2 more times. One more. All right, now we're going to do a little bit of a breath, an abdominal core exercise first, okay? So it helps to put your hands on your belly, okay? So put your hands anywhere just on your abdomen. If you're not happy with that position, it's not comfortable, no problem. You put your mind on your belly so you can feel what's happening here. So the touch of your hands might help, so you can try that. And as you exhale this next time, I want you to see if you can bring your belly a little more tight and firm, like you're trying to squeeze or hug in towards your middle. Okay. And then as you inhale, let that relax and your belly can expand, just whatever's natural. Don't push. Exhale, pull the navel in. Tighten, firm up the belly. See if you can feel that through your hands, just a little firmness. There might be a layer of softer flesh. I've got that layer of skin and extra fatty tissue on top of my muscles. So, but down underneath, I can feel that belly get tight, get firm. Let's do about 3 more of these. Deep belly breath. Try and tighten up that abdominal region as you exhale. Pull into the middle, pull down towards the floor. Now, if you find this challenging, if you don't feel anything happening, that's okay. Just the process of trying it is taking you along the path of getting more control and getting more strength. You have to start somewhere. All right, now spread those arms just anywhere to your side and turn your head side to side a few times. Just nice, easy movement, whatever feels comfortable on your neck. All right. And now we're going to switch to doing the similar movement, but with our knees. So let those knees start to rock side to side. Now, there's no certain distance that you need to try to cover, right? So your movement might be just an inch or two. Okay, it might be a big movement where you take your knees all the way to the floor. Okay, it could be anywhere in between. So I'm just trying to really emphasize that we've each got our own individual practice, even though we're practicing together. So you make your movement however big feels right for you, and it might change. You might be gradually loosening up and feeling like you can go a little bit further with this motion of the knees. Now, if you're feeling really extraordinary today, which I hope you are, you can try coordinating your knees to one side and your head to the other, and then bringing them back to center, and then knees and head go in opposite directions. So just using a little more coordination here. Now, this simple movement is one of my favorite and one of the most universally beneficial for our lower backs. It just helps to release and relax some of those muscles that may be holding tension in our low back and our waist. Again, as long as you're not forcing this movement and you're doing it gently within what feels right for your body, it's going to be a safe and beneficial movement. All right, now let's transition to the next one, loosening up the hips and the low back a little more. Bring one leg in, and you're going to see if you can grab your leg. Now, you might hold the thigh, you might hold the shin, or here's where that strap or that towel might be useful. So if it's difficult to grab hold of your leg, like it's just a strain on your shoulders, your neck, it's just hard to reach, your arms seem too short, whatever it is, then use a towel or a belt to give you a little extension of the arms and make it easier to grab that leg, okay? And we're going to just move this leg back and forth a few times. So knee a little bit away from you, and then pull that knee and thigh in a little closer. And notice what you feel. How does this hip feel? How does this side of your lower back feel? Is this a tight movement? Is it easy? Does it change? All right. Now, let's hold that leg, whichever one you're still holding, so that the knee is over the hip, okay? And then we're going to see if we can stretch the back of that leg. Go foot up towards the ceiling and then back down, okay? So I can get my knee all the way straight right here, but not everybody will be able to, so no problem. If you go to just a part way up, that's just fine. You're just loosening the back of your leg with this movement. Let's do about 3 more on this side. Then we're going to switch legs. Loosening up the hamstring or improving the mobility on the hamstring in the back of your leg is another generally beneficial thing for our low backs. All right, take that leg down. Just pause a moment. Notice how that leg feels. Compare it to your other leg. All right, and then let's do the same thing. You can grab with your hands and hold your leg, or use that strap or the towel like I showed you on the other side. And we're going to go back and forth. Knee in, you're sort of aiming it towards your shoulder or that side of your chest. Again, if your knee doesn't come nearly as close to your body as mine does, that's okay. Okay, so you go wherever it feels right for you. Avoid anything that's painful, which means you make your movement smaller, you make it slightly different angle, or you stop and rest altogether. All right, now let's hold that leg so that the thigh, knee are right over the hip, sort of perpendicular with the ground, and go up towards the ceiling with that foot. So you're straightening the knee any amount. It's okay if you can't get all the way straight, don't force it. Good. We'll do this 3 more times. Easy pace. You could be going a little slower than me or maybe slightly faster, but don't make this a fast, speedy movement. Keep it on the slow side. All right, good. Now we'll come back to our knee rocks. So arms out, knees are bent. Rock those knees side to side. Again, if you're feeling extra coordinated today, take the head opposite direction of the knees. All right, now we're going to move into another strengthening one. Arms are at your side. Turn the palms up as far as you're comfortable. Turning your shoulders so that the front of your shoulder, your bicep, turns and faces up towards the ceiling also. All right, feet are parallel. And we're going to bridge. Lift the hips off the ground any amount. And then slowly take it down. Now, pause a moment. If that movement is not comfortable, if you can't get the hips off without getting something sharp or painful, then you're going to make a movement that's a little different. Just rock your pelvis, pull your belly in, and then rock your pelvis the other way. So sort of a tuck of the tailbone and then a release of it. So that could be where you stay, or you can do that tuck of the tailbone and go ahead and keep lifting and bring the hips up. And then slowly roll it back down and release. Okay, so 2 different options there. Roll the pelvis or tuck the tail, lift the hips maybe. And again, you might lift just an inch or 2, or you might be lifting almost all of your spine off the ground. Okay, we're going to do 3 more, pelvic rock or bridge. All right, good. Now we're going to bring the knees in, this time both legs. So you could still use your towel and just loop it behind both of your legs or your strap. Again, this is a great option if it's just not easy or comfortable to reach your legs with your arms. If it is easy to reach, you can hold the fronts of the knees or the backs of those thighs and just rock this back and forth. Knees and legs a little bit away, and then knees and legs hug in. Now, one last thing before we come all the way up and do our standing work, okay? Let's keep the right leg and then drop the left foot down to the floor and drop the left leg all the way out long, all right? So you're holding the right leg, your hands or your towel or strap, and then you're reaching this left leg as long as you can. Let that really be your focus, that leg on the floor. Flex that foot, try to wake up the toes down there. Make that leg as long as possible. One more deep breath in. And then slowly release. You're going to bring the left leg in. Grab it with your hands or your strap. Stretch. Make that right leg nice and long. Reach through that foot. Spread out those toes. Good. Give it one more deep breath. And then release and bring both feet to the floor. One more little short round of rocking the knees from side to side. And then roll it over. Take your time. We're going to come all the way up. So that little routine that we just did on our backs is a great sort of just loosen up the low back kind of routine. So that you might find some of that stuff is useful in your daily practice when you first wake up, before you get out of bed, or even at the end of the day when your low back's feeling tight because you've been sitting or doing something that's tired you out. All right, we're going to stand up. As always, if you want a chair nearby, that might just be helpful or handy to make you feel safe or to have better balance. So up to you about that. All right, we're going to stand in such a way that we can take one leg back and have the other leg in front and bend that front knee somewhat. Okay, you decide how far. All right, now let's make the back leg active. Okay, so this back leg, push back, push the thigh back, and get that glute to squeeze. Okay, and try to push down into that heel. Okay, all right, and then lift up through your belly, lift up through your chest, take the arms forward and up. Now that part's optional. If you want to keep the arms down or you're holding on to your chair, you just keep the arms there and take a few breaths. Good. 3 more. Big breath in, reach up. Last one. And release it. Straighten that front knee. We're staying in the same stance, okay? So we didn't change legs yet, but straighten the front knee. Still push back with the back thigh. Tighten that glute. Let's bring those hands to the hips and squeeze the shoulders and the elbows back. This will help to open up the chest. And then bend forward any amount. This is going to be another stretch for that hamstring. This is a great opportunity if you want to use your chair. If you've got it, you can put your hands there to give you a little more stability. Keep the legs active. Some of you may be quite a bit further down than me. My hamstring tells me to stop right about here. But if you're able to fold a little bit further forward, you might be able to go that far. All right, slowly bring the head and the chest up, bend that front knee, step in, and just pause a moment. I want you to notice how your right and left legs feel. Notice what the effect of that posture was. And then we'll do the other side. So step the other leg back. Front knee bends somewhat. All right, push into that back thigh. Back thigh pushes back to get the glute active, the knee straight, the heel down. Try and lift up a little bit in that front body, that low belly lifts up. And then here's those optional arms. It could be one arm if you're holding on. Try to breathe fully. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Here we go. Last one. Reach up. And then bring those hands to your hips. Squeeze back. Shoulder blades back. Elbows back. Straighten the front knee. All right. Keep the back leg active. And slowly fold forward. So again, you're stopping wherever your body tells you to stop. It could be way up here. You could fold, and maybe some people put their hands down on the ground. No need to try to get there for any reason other than if that's what works for your body. Hold the chair if you want. Good. And then let's bring the head and chest up. Bend that front knee, step forward, pause a moment. Notice how the two sides of the body feel. Great. All right, now standing with the feet side by side, a little bit of space there. Roll the shoulders. Now we're going to do a little bit of a standing back bend, okay? This is not like a big giant back bend. You're not going to be, making any kind of crazy shape. This is just a nice functional way to use the strength of your back body for good posture and for daily activities. So I want you to stand tall and bring your hands up beside you as if you were placing your hands on a wall, right? So just imagine that there's a wall here real close to you. You're right up against that wall. Your hands are here. I want you to roll the shoulder blades back and down. Really sink into your heels. Draw your tailbone down. All right, now imagine that you're pulling yourself up that wall. You're pulling down with your arms. You're getting your chest to come up. And you can let that gaze drift up to the ceiling, any amount of going back. And then relax. Drop the arms down, let the head come back to neutral. All right, so be gentle with this one. Doesn't have to be a lot of force, just an easy movement in and out. So let's try a few of these, like we're climbing the wall. Anchor the tail, the heels, put the hands up. Inhale, get tall. Exhale. Release. Inhale, pull up. Exhale, release. One more time like that. Up and release. Now, if you feel comfortable with that, you can take the arms all the way up. If you'd rather keep those hands beside the chest, do it that way. Reach up and down. So I'm really trying to go up, up, up. Strong legs, chest up. And then down. One more time. And down. All right, now the opposite movement. We want to be gentle and careful with this one, okay? You might decide you want to use a chair to fold to, or you might be comfortable folding and hanging or going towards the floor. Also, the chair first. Take those feet generously wide, soften your knees, and slowly fold forward, okay? So maybe use a chair or your table, coffee table, or a stool, and just let yourself be supported. This is a great idea if your hamstrings, the backs of your legs are really tight, or your low back gets cranky when you bend over, all right? If you feel like you don't need that chair, you could take it to a forward fold that drops the hands down lower, maybe all the way to the floor, or maybe you got a low stool you could put your hand on. All right, the knees can stay soft. We'll take 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to slowly come up. You can use the chair to push up or walk those hands up to your thighs and come all the way up, standing tall. Great. Good. Now, bring those feet a little closer together. And we'll side stretch. Take one arm up and over as far as feels comfortable. Anchor down into those feet. Lift that side of the waist. And then release. Do the other side. Reach up. Strong legs push down, up and over. A little stretch to the side body. And back down. Now, if you want, you can do this thing from the chair. You could sit in the chair if you're feeling like you need to take a break from standing. Let's do this one more time. Side stretch up and over. And release. Side stretch up and over. And release. Good. All right, roll those shoulders. Take the feet a little bit wider. We're going to do a twisting motion next. So we will have done all the directions that the spine can move by the time we finish this twisting. 2 options. Arms can be out like so with the elbows bent and the hands kind of up in the air like you're in that stick 'em up position or the field goal position, or hands across the chest. Okay, so this is a good option if your shoulders aren't happy with that upright position. All right, so stand up tall. Deep breath in, exhale, and twist. Just turn as far as is comfortable in one direction. And then inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, twist. And back to center. Do that again. Twist as you exhale. Inhale, back to center. Twist as you exhale. And back to center. Last time, each side. And then bring it in. Let those arms drop. Give those shoulders a couple of good rolls. Turn your head gently side to side. All right, now we're going to finish up with, we got about 3 or 4 more minutes. We're going to finish up with some relaxation, which is also very good for our low back because believe it or not, a lot of the tension or the soreness or the tightness that we might hold in our low back comes from our stress, right? It's just a place in our body that we hold stress and other issues that really aren't related to the body, but are more maybe emotional. All right. So you can lie back down if you would prefer and lie on your back on the floor or on your bed, wherever you were lying before, or you can sit comfortably in any chair that you have available. So I'm going to sit. It's going to make it easier for me to talk to the screen here, but go ahead and get pretty well supported if possible. Make sure that you can sit all the way back in the chair. Or if you're lying down, you might bend your knees or put your legs over a pillow or that sort of thing. And just start with a few slow motion turns of the head. And we're purposely slowing this down so that we start to tap into the relaxation part of the nervous system. So a couple more times, even slower. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, you can close the eyes at this point. You can soften the focus and sort of just half close the eyes if you don't like eyes all the way closed. Bring the head slowly back to center. We'll let it settle here. Now I want you to find your breath. Just simply observing your breath has a quality of relaxation or induces a little bit of relaxation. Just simply noticing your breath, even if you didn't change it at all. And if you're able to gently deepen your inhale and slow down your exhale, we'll go a little further into that relaxation response. So just focus on seeing if that exhale can be a little bit longer each time, a little bit slower each time. And each time you exhale, see if you can soften. Maybe it's your face that relaxes. Maybe it's your shoulders that soften. Or even the hands become a little more relaxed. Keep bringing your attention back to the breath, back to that feeling in your body, letting go. About 3 to 4 more breaths here. All right, and then let's return to that gentle movement of the head. You might make it a little faster than we did a moment ago. Find your hands, your fingers, wiggle those fingers, give the wrists a circle. See if you can do the same for the feet, the toes, the ankles. Give those ankles a little circle, toes a wiggle. If you're lying down, you could choose to go ahead and sit up. If you would like to just stay and relax a little bit longer, I encourage that. You can just continue even as we close out the program. All right. And let's take one last deep breath together. And if you want, you can raise your arms up as you inhale and bring your hands together in front of the heart in a symbol of gratitude as you exhale. And I thank you so much for being with me and with AARP of Alabama. Let us know if you've got any requests, anything you'd like us to do with yoga in 2 weeks when I return. We'd love to hear from you about what you'd like to practice with me during our mindful movement sessions. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Becca. Folks, we're going to take a short commercial break. And if you have any questions, please remember to drop them in the chat. Folks, thanks for joining us again. And Barb from Kentucky, thanks for being with us. Barb found us through the Virtual Community Center, and she's been joining us on a regular basis. But remember, Mindful Movement is every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Time. We'll see you later, folks. Bye.
Bye.